can begin as you like, seated in child's pose, on your back if you like, but as we know, what's important is to take some time to come into the body. Right? Close your eyes if you like. Right? Turning off one of your external senses allows you to kind of become more aware of this internal space that we often don't pay any attention to. So take a moment, settle in, make any adjustments that allow you to be a little bit more comfortable in your physical body. Right? And then we begin to work on our energetic body by breathing, right? And we balance our breath. We make our inhales a little bit fuller. We make the exhales maybe a little bit slower. And just finding a rhythm at first. Moving the breath in, moving the breath out. Right? And we would like for the inhales and the exhales to be either equal in length or the exhales to be just a little bit longer. Right? So you might add a count as you breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5 maybe. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 or 6 or 7. Right? We'll just spend a few more moments here. Right? We should have our exhales at least as long as our inhales, maybe just a little bit longer here. Right? A few more moments, feeling what it feels like to breathe in, feeling what it feels like to breathe out. Another round or two of breath. And we'll move into a table whenever you're ready. So coming onto hands and knees. Getting into some movement with our cat-cow breaths. So you can ground through your hands, knees underneath your hips. As you breathe in, we want to lower through the belly, lift the head and tailbone up. And then exhale as you tuck your chin, tuck your tailbone, lift up through the back. A few more of these. You can breathe in, opening through the front of the body. Breathing out, we're opening through the back of the body. And so maybe 4 or 5 more of these. You can close your eyes if you like, and you can take any variations that might feel better in your body today. So several more rounds, and feeling what it feels like to move and breathe here. Knowing that this is a mental practice that works your attention right out of the future and the past and brings your attention into the present, and the mind begins to kind of settle, stop the working and the analyzing and the planning and just coming into being in our bodies. Right? So maybe another round or so of breath, and then whenever you're ready, you can settle into a child's pose. And you can take your hips back towards your heels, and make yourself maybe knees a little wider, forehead may rest to the ground or the body. Again, we really try to settle in, physically releasing any contraction again in the jaw or the shoulders or the back or maybe the belly, right? And then moving the breath. Because we don't breathe smoothly as normally, unconsciously. We're holding our breath a lot and we're not getting enough oxygen or prana, right? And we're not breathing out all of the stuff that needs to be moved out with the exhale. So just simply moving the breath is a really powerful practice, right? But we have to consciously do it in a nice steady rhythm. Right, with your next in-breath, we can come up into table. And then downward dog as you exhale. And we'll just take maybe 2 or 3 breaths in this downward dog just to open up the shoulders, open up the legs, open up the ankles, release any compression in the neck. And last round of breath in your downward dog. And then we'll come down to our child's pose again. So knees come to the ground as you inhale, hips back towards the heels. As you exhale, and again we settle in, right? And then you just can really try to just drop in, notice new sensations maybe now in your hands or your shoulders, maybe your heart's beating a little faster. Good, we'll do a lateral stretch, so walking your hands over to the right and getting into the left side of the body. Right? And try to again relax neck, jaw, shoulders, and then consciously move the breath. It doesn't happen naturally or unconsciously. Right, so last round of breath here in the side body stretch. And then with your next breath in, you can move back through center. And then we'll go over to the left with the exhale, lengthening into the right side of the body. Again, we'll take a moment just to kind of settle in. Right, and then just maybe 2 breaths in, slower breaths out. Good, last breath here. And then we'll come back into back into center. in your child's pose, and just maybe a round or two of breath in your regular child's pose, maybe feeling a little extra openness into the ribs or the back of the lungs even. And from here, we'll come up into our table again. We'll do some work from our tables. So come into a nice strong table, grounding through your hands. And then we'll extend the right leg back for a balancing table. An option to extend your left arm or not. But we'll do 3 rounds of movement. So it's a breath in here, and as you exhale, we'll round and tuck like the cat. And then 2 more as you breathe in, extend and lengthen. And then exhale as you round and tuck. Good. One more time. Breathe in, extend and lengthen out. Exhale as you round and tuck. This time we'll extend and lengthen out, and then bring everything down as you exhale, and just a couple breaths for yourself. You might come into a child's pose and rest, and you might find a little bit of organic or somatic movement. But time for yourself here. And then we'll meet back in our table when you're ready. And then we'll switch sides. So grounding into your hands, it'll be the left leg that extends back. Option to extend your right arm or not. Right? But it's a breath in here. And then as you exhale, we'll round and tuck. Do 2 more as you breathe in, extend and lengthen. Exhale, round and tuck. 1 more time, inhale, lengthen. Exhale as you tuck, and then we'll lengthen out with the inhale. Bring everything down as you exhale, and again, a few breaths for yourself. You might find movement, you might take stillness. Either is okay. Good, and then we'll return to our tables again. Do a few rounds of we'll be leading into our thread the needle, but we're going to add a few twists first. It's really good for some thoracic spine work, also good for opening the shoulders and stuff. So right hand will come behind the back of your head, and you'll just kind of rest your fingertips there. As you breathe in, we'll reach the right elbow up to the sky, and as you exhale, take the elbow towards the opposite wrist. And then you'll do that again. You'll breathe in, reach the elbow up towards the sky, and then exhale, elbow to opposite wrist. 2 more. Breathe in as you open up. Exhale as you twist. Last one like that. Inhale, open. Exhale and twist. And then this time we'll inhale, open the elbow up, and then reach the hand up as you exhale. We'll stay here. Take another breath in, and then as you exhale, we'll thread the needle. So the right arm comes down, right shoulder comes down, right side of the head comes down to the mat. You can adjust your left arm if you like. You can adjust your leg if you like, but try for 2 or 3 more breaths. Breathing in again slowly, fully consciously. Breathing out at least as long as your inhale, maybe a bit longer. Last breath there. And then you can press back into your left hand and come out. And again, a few breaths to do as you would wish. You might come back to, again, some movement, some stillness. But just a few breaths to, again, be with your practice and what you need for yourself today. And then we'll meet back in our table when you're ready. This time we'll take the left hand behind the back of the head. And as you breathe in, we reach the left elbow up towards the sky. And then exhale, elbow to opposite wrist. We'll do 3 more. You can move at your own pace. You might even close your eyes, but you inhale and open. And then exhale as you twist. Good. Again, breathe in. And slow breath out. Last one like that. Inhale, open. Exhale and twist. And then this time we'll inhale, reach the elbow up. And then reach your hand up as you exhale. Take a breath in, maybe reach higher. And as you exhale, we'll thread the arm down. So the shoulder, the left side of the head come down. And you can adjust your right arm as you wish. Right, but several slow breaths in, slow breaths out. And maybe 1 more breath here. And then you'll press into your right hand and come out. Take a few moments again for yourself. You can have your eyes closed, if you like, or open. Good. When you're ready, we will meet in a downward dog. So tucking the toes, lift the knees, right, press into the hands, sink the heart back towards the legs. And just take 2 more breaths in your downward dog. And then we'll take 1 more in-breath. Bring your feet to the top of your mat as you exhale, standing forward fold. Lift up halfway as you breathe in. Exhale as you fold. And we'll do that again, halfway up as you inhale. Exhale as you fold, and then we'll come to stand with the in-breath. Reach your arms all the way up. Bring your hands to your heart as you exhale. Good, and then take a deep breath here. Maybe close your eyes, come into the soles of the feet, the legs, the arms. We'll do our sun salutation A variation. So as you inhale, we'll reach our arms overhead. Forward fold as you exhale. Halfway lift as you breathe in. Hands to your mat as you breathe out. Plank with your inhale. Lower down as you exhale. Lift head and shoulders up as you breathe in. Downward dog as you breathe out. 2 breaths in here. 1 breath out. 1 more in breath. Feet to the top of the mat as you exhale. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale as you fold. Inhale to stand, lifting your arms. Hands to your heart as you exhale. Good, nice deep breath here. Good, next breath in, lift your arms overhead. Forward fold as you exhale. Halfway lift, breathe in. Hands to your mat as you breathe out. Plank as you inhale. Lower down as you exhale. Lift head and shoulders up as you breathe in. Downward dog as you breathe out. Good, this time we'll stay here. 2 more breaths in. Slow breaths out. Good, 1 more breath here. And we're going to come into a toe stretch. So you're going to bring your knees down to the mat. Leave your toes tucked. And then you'll walk your hands back towards your knees. Right? Maybe you come to sit on the heels. Maybe you walk your hands up. Right? But we want to stretch the toes. Those of you that come upright with no problem, you can add in a shoulder stretch if you want to sneak in another shoulder stretch, bringing the hands behind the back, interlacing the fingers. Right? Wherever you are, you might have your hands grounded still, but breathe. Right? Breathe in slowly. Breathe out maybe more slowly. Relax the jaw. 1 more breath here. Good, and then you can release. Take several breaths for yourself, right? So you might point the feet, tap them out, maybe come back to your cat-cow breaths or child's pose. Good. When you're ready to move on, we'll come back into our downward dog. We'll get into a little bit more of our flow. So grounding into your hands in your downward dog, and opening up through the side body, so you're kind of lifting up out of the shoulders, reaching the hips away from the shoulders. Your right foot will reach up to the sky as you inhale. Let's do 1 cheetah with the exhale. Round and tuck. And then 3-legged dog. As you inhale, let's step to the top of the mat with the exhale. Let's find a warrior 2. So you'll windmill that left arm up and back, opening the hips and shoulders to face the wide side of the mat. And then 3 times, straighten your leg, lift your arms up to the sky as you inhale. And then back to warrior 2 as you exhale. So 2 more times, opening up hips. We'll inhale, straighten the legs, straighten, lift the arms up. Exhale, bend that right knee, nice deep lunge, opening hips. 1 more time, breathe in. Warrior 2 as you breathe out, and this time we'll stay here. And 1 breath in, 1 breath out. And then let's find a triangle. We'll straighten the right leg, breathing in, and then exhale, right hand lowers, left hand lifts. 2 breaths in. Out slowly. Good. 1 more breath here. And then reverse warrior as you inhale. So bend your right leg, reach the right hand up to the sky. And then we'll windmill the hands to the mat with the exhale and take several breaths to do as you wish. You might want to rest in a child's pose. You might want to flow. You might want to stretch. You might come back to that toe stretch, or you might want stillness. You might want movement. And it's all okay. It's a matter of what you need today. Sometimes we need to move. Sometimes we need to be still. Sometimes we need to stretch. Sometimes we need to strengthen. And each day is different. Each moment's different. Right? So once you're ready, we'll meet in our downward dogs. And then we'll get grounded again. Strong in the hands. Open through the side body. And open to the shoulders. We'll lift the left foot to the sky with an inhale. And then 1 cheetah. Exhale as you round and tuck. 3-legged dog with your inhale. Step to the top of the mat as you exhale. We'll find warrior 2. So your right hand windmills up and back as we open the hips and shoulders to face the wide side of the mat. And then straighten the leg, lift your arms up as you inhale. Come back to your warrior two as you exhale. So 2 more times. Left toe faces the front of the mat. Right toe faces the wide side of the mat. Good, last one like that. Inhale, straighten the leg, lift the arms. Warrior two as you exhale, and then we'll stay here. Right, breathe in, breathe out. And we'll find our triangle, straightening the left leg as you inhale. Lower the left hand down as you exhale. Stay for 2 breaths in. 2 breaths out. Good, last breath here. And then it's reverse warrior as you inhale. So bend the left knee, left hand reaches up. And as you exhale, we'll windmill the hands down to the ground. And then again, a few breaths for yourself. And you can find movement, take stillness. And maybe close your eyes. And listen to your body. And then we'll meet in our downward dogs when we're ready to move on. From your downward dogs, we'll take an inhale. Bring your feet to the top of the mat as you exhale. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale as you fold. Come to stand, inhaling arms all the way up. Hands to your heart as you exhale. Good, 1 deep breath here. And then inhale, lift both arms overhead. Forward fold as you exhale. Halfway lift as you breathe in. Exhale as you fold, and we'll spend a couple breaths in our forward fold. Now that we've warmed up a little bit, we can relax more in the neck and in the hamstrings and stretch a little bit better. So you might cross your hands for a ragdoll. You might take a different bind or no bind, but we really want this lengthening through the back line of the body. Breath continues to move, right? Consciously we move the breath. The last breath here, you can release any bind that you might have had, and we'll come up to stand nice and slowly. So we want to stretch our back as we come up. So you can round up, leave your arms hang, leave your chin tucked. You want to stretch all the way up the spine. And then pausing at the top. Again, just a moment to feel, to be present. Notice what you feel in your body. Good. With your next breath in, we'll lift both arms overhead. Forward fold as you exhale. Halfway lift. Breathe in, hands to your mat as you breathe out. Plank with your inhale. Lower all the way down to the mat as you exhale. We'll do a little bit of work on our bellies. So we'll do a half frog first. So you can make a pillow with your hands or just make your upper body comfortable. But we'll bend the right knee and take the right leg, the right knee out towards the right side. And you can open your foot up so that it's kind of in line with your hip. Right, so half frog here. You can in either cheek on the mat or whatever you want with your arms, but opening up into inner thighs and hips, right? Deep inhales, longer, slower exhales. Another breath or so here. And then you can, when you're ready, stretch that right leg out and just take a few moments for yourself. You might find stillness. You might take a little counter movement. But stay within the body. And when you're ready, you can switch sides, taking your left knee out, hip height-ish. The foot opens out to be in line with the knee-ish. Right? You can adjust your upper body if you want to turn your other cheek to the mat, or right. But maybe 2 or 3 more slow breaths in, slower breaths out. And 1 more breath. And whenever you're ready, you can come out of this, and again, just a few moments for yourself. Being very aware of what you feel. Right, and then from here, I'm going to do a different shoulder stretch. We call this, I think, crocodile or alligator or something. I can't remember, but you'll come onto your forearms and you'll like take your hands opposite. Right? And we can do the left arm on top of, in front of the right arm, and then you'll walk your hands out away from each other. And so you're kind of stretching into the backs of the shoulders. And you can adjust if you want to tuck your toes and scooch forward or scooch backwards. Full variation, we turn the arches of the feet to the ground, right, and then we breathe. And so wherever you are, steady the breath. Good. And then when you're ready, you can come out of this. So that was one side with the left elbow on top first. We'll switch sides in a moment, so you might take a moment, stretch it out. But when you're ready, it'll be the right elbow, like kind of on top of the left. And you might walk the elbows back a bit, but then you walk them away from each other towards the outer edges of the mat. And again, you can adjust by scooching up or back. And maybe the forehead can rest, maybe not. You can adjust your legs, so you might come onto the arches of the inside, and so you turn your toes out, if that makes sense. You're on the inner thighs, inner arches of the feet, right? And breath continues to move. We breathe in, we stretch into the upper back space. We breathe out, maybe we relax and soften a bit. And whenever you're ready, again, you can come out, take a few moments for yourself. We'll be meeting eventually back into our downward dog, so you might come into a child's pose first, or maybe some cat-cow breaths, or maybe a flow. But we're down on our bellies for now. And then once you're ready to move on, we'll come back to our downward dogs. And once you're there, take a moment, get grounded, and open into the side body. Relax your neck. From here, we'll reach the right foot to the sky, breathing in. We'll bend the knee, stack the hips as you breathe out. And then square the hips, straighten the leg as you inhale. One cheetah as you exhale, round and tuck. Three-legged dog as you inhale. We'll step to the top of the mat with the exhale. Let's find a crescent here. So staying on the toes of the back foot, lift the arms. I'm going to sneak in a little bit of balance. So we'll shift the weight forward and then draw the back knee up for your stork. Good. From here, we'll take eagle. Right? You can cross the left knee over the right, and it's your right arm on top of the left. So you can wrap the hands, or maybe you give yourself a big hug, similar to what we were just doing on the ground. We want that kind of openness through the upper back space. Try for one more breath in your eagle. And then we'll open up to stork. Nice, guys. Take a breath in. Step back to your crescent as you exhale. Take a breath in here. And then warrior two as you breathe out. Good. From here, straighten your leg. Lift both arms up as you inhale. Come back to your warrior two as you exhale. Do that 2 more times. Breathe in, straighten the leg, lift the arms. Exhale, warrior two. Last one like that. And then we pause in our warrior two. Right? Take a breath in here, breath out here. This time we'll straighten the right leg, breathing in, and find your triangle as you breathe out. Option, a nice shoulder stretch here, so take that top arm, and then it's like a half bind. So you'll turn your hand and take the back of the hand to your lower back, and you might even find your inner thigh, but this opens up through that top shoulder. You can turn your chin down, maybe get a little bit more of a stretch, looking down at that bottom foot. And then you're welcome to release the bind if you have it. And we'll come back to our reverse warrior with our inhale. So bend the right knee, reach the right hand up to the sky. This time we'll stay here with the exhale. Right, one more breath in. And then as you exhale, we'll windmill the hands down to the ground. Again, a few moments to do as you would like. Now you can stretch, strengthen, move, be still. This is a really good way to work in our personal practice and what our individual bodies and minds and hearts need into these kind of group settings. So, and especially now at home, nobody's watching, right? So you can move or whatever you need to kind of, connect. And whenever you're ready, then we come back to our downward dogs. And once we're there, we take a moment to be there. And then with your in-breath, we'll lift the left foot to the sky, bend the knee and stack the hips as you exhale. Back to your three-legged dog as you inhale. One cheetah. Exhale as you round and tuck. Three-legged dog. Breathe in. We'll step to the top of the mat with the exhale. Find your crescent as you breathe in. Steady here as you breathe out. We'll be moving back to our stork on this side. So weight shifts forward as you inhale. Draw the back knee up as you exhale. And you're more than welcome to stay here. Or eagle, we cross the right knee on top of the left, and it's your left arm on top of the right arm. And you might work on lifting the elbows or drawing the elbows down, just feeling the stretch within the shoulders. Wherever you are, breathe. Last breath in your eagle, and then we'll rise up to stork. Breathe in, and step back to your crescent as you breathe out. Take a breath in here, and then warrior two as you breathe out. With your in-breath, we straighten the leg, lift the arms up to the sky. And then back to warrior two as you exhale. You might close your eyes through this part. Right, as you breathe in, we straighten the leg, lift the arms up. And then back to your warrior two as you exhale. Nice, one more time. And then we pause in our warrior two. Take a breath in and a breath out. And we'll find our triangle. So left leg straightens as you inhale. Left hand lowers as you exhale. Right hand can stay as it is, or try the half bind. You'll take the hand behind you so that the back of the hand can rest on the lower back, and that's a nice way to open up. Or you might grab the hip, and you may even turn your chin down, right, looking down, getting a nice stretch to the left side. If you have your bind, you can release it, and we'll come into our reverse warrior, breathing in, and then stay there as you breathe out. Last breath in here, and then you can windmill the hands to the mat as you exhale. And then again, several rounds of breath for yourself. Good. Maybe 2 more breaths or so. And again, we'll come back into our downward dogs once you're ready. In a moment to just be there. Good. And then from here, we're going to come into a puppy pose. So bring your knees to the ground. And your hands walk up towards the top of the mat. Hips stay over the knees. And think about the cow tilt where you turn your tailbone up. Or you kind of lift your head up. But we do want to relax the head down. Right? But the tailbone, we're trying to get that arch in the lower back. You can have your toes tucked or untucked. I used to always untuck them, but leaving them tucked helps to keep me kind of arched and opening a little bit more. So your choice, but breathe, right? Another breath or so. Good, and then once you're ready, then you can lift your head up. Counter as you like. In cat-cow breaths if you like. You might come back to that shoulder stretch where you sit back on the heels. Right? Maybe an eagle, maybe just stillness, but again, just a couple breaths to do whatever. This practice of coming into the body is really important and just kind of making it up. Right? It's healthy for the mind, also the body, but even more so for the mind. Right, so once you're ready, we'll move on. So downward dog again when you're ready. Get into some hip stretches, a little bit more here. So lift the right foot up to the sky, breathing in, and then bend the right knee, stack the hips as you exhale. 3-legged dog as you inhale. 1 cheetah, exhale, round and tuck. 3-legged dog as you inhale, and then we'll step to the top of the mat with the exhale. This time we'll stay low. So back knee comes down. You can untuck the toes if you like, or leave them tucked, but low lunge, opening into the front of the hip. Right? With the knee grounded, sometimes we can get a little bit deeper. Right? If you wanted to lift your heart up, you can work on lifting your arms up if you like. You can work on interlacing fingers behind the back, opening up through chest and shoulders this way. Again, all options, right? You choose what you would like for your practice, maybe another round or 2 of breath. Good, and you can release any binds you had with your hands. Right, we'll come into a hamstring stretch. So if the back toes were tucked, you want to untuck them. And then you'll shift your weight backwards, stretching your right leg out. Relax into the upper back, the neck, the shoulders, and then consciously steady the breath. It's hard, right? But that's our practice. Slow breaths in, slower breaths out. Last breath, and then when you're finished, you can lift your heart up. Okay, shift your weight forward. We'll come into another lunge variation. This might be a lizard if you like, a little bit deeper. You can bring both hands to the big toe side of your foot. Maybe scoot your foot over a bit. Right? Hips are lowering. You may lower the upper body. You may continue to lift the upper body as the hips lower. Right? Again, I'll go through a bunch of options. You don't have to do any of them, but they're there if you want them. You can take right hand to knee, flexing the foot, right? Rotating the knee away. And you can add in a quad stretch or a twist, right? But maybe 2 or 3 more breaths. Yeah, the quad stretch would be to reach your right hand back to the left foot. Not always best for everybody. So again, if you don't have to do it. But sometimes we don't know what we can do. So when you're finished, you can go and take a few moments to do whatever you would like. And I really recommend just kind of making it up. And then after another round or so of breath, we meet back in a downward dog. Once you're there, we check in, we feel into hands, neck, jaw, feet, arms, legs, so we pull our awareness into the present. And then we lift the left foot to the sky, breathing in. Bend the knee and stack the hips as you breathe out. Three-legged dog as you inhale. One cheetah, exhale, round and tuck. Three-legged dog, breathe in. We'll step to the top of the mat with the exhale. Regular lunge here, so back knee will come down. You can tuck the toes or not. Hands can stay down to the knee, overhead, behind the back. And you choose which lunge variation you like, but try to breathe in slowly. Breathe out more slowly. Another round or so here. Good. Last breath, and then we'll come into our hamstring stretch. So if your toes were still tucked, you can untuck them. Shift your weight backwards so the left leg straightens. And relax again in your upper back, in your neck, your jaw. Move your breath slow, steady pace. Last breath here. And then we'll come into another lunge variation. Right? So we'll shift the weight forward. Coming into your lunge. Then you might do a lizard variation, taking both hands to the big toe side of the foot and scoot the foot over. Right? Hips are sinking down, right? You might lift the upper body, you might lower the upper body. You might take a left hand to the knee, rotating the knee away. Right? Reaching left hand back for right foot. A couple more rounds of breath. And relax the face, the jaw. Maybe one more round, and then you're free to do whatever you would like, but be mindful or be aware. Notice what you feel. Good. After another round or so of breath, we'll meet in maybe one more downward dog, maybe our last one. We're going to come into our malasana stretch next. So we'll take both feet towards the top of the mat, toes roll, turn outwards. Usually they hang off the mat, hips sink down, and you can adjust if you want your feet in closer or farther. And you can have your hands down, maybe bring the hands up. You can even play around. Try lifting your hands up to the sky. It's really hard. Uphill. Right? So, I mean, you can play around. You can take a bind where you wrap one arm around the leg or the other arm. Right? So sometimes we just always do the same thing, but changing it up a bit is fun. So last breath in your malasana. And after that, we'll meet in a seated posture. But you might want to, stretch out first or flow first. But we'll meet in a seated posture when you're ready to move on. Alright, so staying with our hips, I do want to come to the back and then we'll come back up. So don't get too excited. I mean, we're not going to we're going to keep stretchy, but come to your back. We have the request for the supine pigeon pose, so I want to get that in. So you'll come to your back and you'll cross your right ankle over the left knee. And then you'll lift your legs up and you'll reach your hands to the back of the left leg. So the right hand will go between the legs. Left hand comes around the side. You might interlace your fingers. You might just hold on to the leg. But we want to kind of pull the legs in. Make sure you relax on the left side. Relax in your shoulders, your jaw space. Right? And then practice breathing. It's hard. Good. One more breath here. And then when you're ready, you can release. Take a moment or two for yourself. You might find stillness or a little movement. And once you're ready, we'll switch sides, taking your left ankle over the right knee. Lifting the legs, reach your hands to the back of the right leg. You might draw the legs in a bit, but then relax the face, relax the right foot, relax maybe your shoulders back a bit. Slow, steady breaths. Good, and then you can release this side and take a moment for yourself. And we'll bring knees into chest, maybe a little bit of rocking or circling side to side, massaging around the lower back and the hips. Good, and then in a moment we're going to come back up to seated. So you might rock and roll forwards and backwards a few times, just kind of getting that spinal roll. Okay, but eventually we'll come back up to seated. And then staying with hips, I want to do just a little bit of movement here. Take your hands behind you, feet a little wide, and you can choose how close or far away, but just kind of switch side to side. And it might not feel right, so again, you can adjust higher or lower, you can bring your hand, all of that. So, and as you adjust, it changes, right? As we're doing this, we're stretching, but we're also massaging and working the fascia around the glutes and around the hips. So really, really, really good stuff here. And you can, again, like I said, kind of shift and play around with the angle or the where the pressure is. And then we'll get into our deer pose, which is wonderful for hips. So begin seated, and you'll take your legs off to your right, and we're working on right angles in the, well, first we want the left leg to come like straight out in front of you, so it's not out here or over here, right? And then this right leg should be straight out from your shoulder. And then the feet open up for those right angles-ish. But if you have, like I say ish because it's all just a suggestion. If you have a twist in your knee or something, you can make it feel better. But definitely, usually we feel it a lot in our right hip. We want to be working on, see how I'm like twisted over? I'm moving out of the stretch, so I have the intention of kind of lengthening up. It might not happen so easily or smoothly, but lots you can do from here. Again, I'll go through a bunch. You can tune me out if you want, but you can work on just sitting upright. You can work on some cat-cow tilts and just kind of getting that mobility within that hip socket. You can work on sitting up top. You can twist to your left, right, and add a twist. You can fold once you do that, walking your hands out. You can sit upright. You can do a lateral stretch, taking your left hand over. You can do a fold where you walk your hands out in front of you. And you can kind of explore with all of this. You might, walk your hands over, but we'll take another maybe 3 or so breaths in this deer variation. Right? I really recommend just closing your eyes, right, and breathe in very consciously and deeply. Breathe out slowly, right, releasing any contraction that might be held in the jaw or in the belly or in these areas that we hold this tension. And so when you're ready, you can come out and then just a few breaths for yourself. Right? I like to kind of come back to this movement, but you can do anything, as always. And then once you're ready, we switch sides. So your legs will go off to your left. And again, we're working towards having the right leg straight out from you. Left leg is kind of out from the shoulder, working on right angles-ish, and working on sitting up-ish. And again, we'll do a good 6 or 8 breaths in this, and yeah, same thing. I really recommend just close your eyes, right? You can do lateral stretches, twists, cat-cow breaths, and you don't have to close your eyes, but it helps just to kind of come into the body and feel a little bit more. Breath is key, right? And as you breathe in, feel what happens as you inhale. As you breathe out, make your exhale slower. Right? Maybe relax the face or toes or someplace that doesn't need to be contracted. Good, last breath. And then you can come out and again, several breaths for yourself. From here, I want to do a wide leg seated forward fold. So take your legs out wide. And we'll begin by sitting up tall, and we'll twist to the right. Right? So take a breath in, and as you exhale, we'll fold over the right leg. So you can walk your hands out towards the leg. You may take your left arm and reach it to the outside of the right leg, and take your right arm and take it over top and bring it to the inside of the leg, and then relax your head between. That just kind of stretches into like the shoulders a little bit when you do that kind of cross lateral motion. But so one more breath in your fold, and that's not optional, or that is optional. You don't have to do the arm cross. Okay, but then when you're ready, you can come out of this. Again, a few moments for yourself. Notice the sensations in the body. And then we'll switch sides. So we'll breathe in, sit up tall, twist to the left as you exhale. And another breath in, lift up, and then fold forward as you exhale. Again, you don't have to, but sometimes it helps to take your right hand, reach it to the outside of the leg, and then take your left hand, reach it to the inside of the leg. And you can kind of relax your head onto the arms, or if you like, but breathe wherever you are. Last breath here. And then you can slowly make your way back up. Take a moment or two for yourself. And then we'll be folding to the center next. So breathe in, sit up tall. As you exhale, walk your hands out in front of you. And you can, again, relax into the back of the neck, relax your jaw. And you try to breathe down into the belly. Exhale, long breaths out. Another round or two. Good, and then once you're ready, you can come back up. A moment for yourself. Good. And we'll do one more. Well, maybe not. We'll come. I'm feeling it. Okay, so another hip thing. You have options. I'm going to run through them really quick. So options are 2 Baddha Konasanas. This is the safest for your knees and everything. We'll do 2. Another option is your fire log or double pigeon, where you would align the knees and the ankles. And then your other option is your Gomukhasana. So all are excellent options. All are excellent for hips. Depending on your knee mobility and just things in your body, you choose which one's best. So I would begin with your right leg down if you're doing one, just so we can all keep straight, but if you're already, you can switch it. But so for Gomukhasana, you have your knees stacked, you're on the outside edges of the feet. For your fire log, you have your knees and your ankles stacked. Right? So both, they just do different things. Baddha Konasana, you have the soles of the feet together. Right? So all are excellent for hips. You have the choice to stay upright. If you would like, you can fold forward in any of those variations. You can also, same as before, add in some lateral stretches or some twists, but probably 2 or 3 more breaths in any of those variations. Yeah. Yeah, sitting upright in stillness is great as well. Okay, but relax the face, relax your jaw. Another round or 2 where you are. And then when you're ready, you can come out. In a moment, we'll switch sides, but you might want to stretch your legs out first, or, counter stretch, a little wiggle if you like. And then, right, if you did either Gomukhasana or the double pigeon, we would switch legs, so it would be your left leg on the bottom. If you did the Baddha Konasana, you can just do a second one, bringing the soles of the feet together. But so Gomukhasana, knees are stacked on the outside edge of the feet. Fire log, your ankles and your knees are stacked. Right? So you choose which one's best for you. You're welcome to stay upright, right? Just working on lengthening the spine, relaxing the knees and the hips down. You can fold forward if you like. You can add in lateral stretches and or twists. Right, but maybe 3 or 4 more breaths, and I really recommend, if you're comfortable, just close your eyes, right, and your body, you can feel more, and you can kind of guide yourself into what's healthy and safe and good for you, right, so 1 or 2 more breaths, and then you're free to come out and counter as you wish. Good, we'll be meeting on our backs this time, so take your time getting there, but once you're ready, you can come to your back. Okay, bring your knees to your chest, hands to your kneecaps, and we might come back to that circling or rocking side to side, massaging the back, massaging around the glutes, around the sacrum. Good, and then when you're ready, you can come back to center. We'll lower the feet down and then bring the soles of the feet together for our Supta Baddha Konasana. So soles of the feet come together. Your arms can do as you wish. If you want to continue shoulder stuff, you can take your arms either out to a T or even overhead a bit. You can take, bend in the elbows or whatever feels best for you. But maybe you close your eyes, come back into the body, come back into breath, breathing in slowly, breathing out. Maybe a little bit more slowly as you exhale, especially towards the end of our class. We can really lengthen out the exhalations. Last breath where you are. And then we'll come out of this a moment or 2 for yourself. being aware of what you feel. And the knees into your chest, hands to your kneecaps. This time, let's extend the left leg out along the mat. And draw the right knee in. You can rest your left heel and maybe pull the right knee in, bringing it in a little bit tighter. Good. And then from here, we'll do 2 circles in one direction and then 2 circles in another direction. So you can circle out one way, back in. Try to incorporate the breath. You would breathe in as you circle out, and then breathe out as you circle in. And then switching directions in your rotations. It's kind of hard, more of a brain exercise. You kind of circle again, one more in the opposite direction. Good, and then we'll come back to center, and we'll come right into a twist. So take your left hand to the knee, opposite hand to knee, right arm out to your right side, shoulder height, and then we'll twist to the left. We'll take maybe 3 or 4 slow breaths here. And as you inhale, your inhales are full. As you exhale, make your exhale slower. See if you can relax somewhere, right? And possibly get a little bit more breath out at the bottom. Good. Last breath here. And once you're finished, you can come out. Again, several moments for yourself. And you can find movement or take stillness. And keeping your eyes closed is nice. Good, and then we'll bring both knees into the chest again, hands to your kneecaps, and maybe a little circle or a little movement. And then this time, we'll stretch the right leg out along the mat. Allow that heel to rest down. Take your hands to your knee or your shin on that left side, and just give the knee a nice, pull the leg in, nice deep breath there. And then we'll do 2 circles in one direction. Okay, so slow, mindful circles. You may close your eyes. Feel what happens all the way around. And then we'll go in the opposite direction. So nice, slow, mindful movement, feeling all the way around. And then once you're finished, you can come back to center. We'll take the right hand to the outside of the left knee. And then your left arm will open out to your left side, shoulder height-ish. And then we'll twist to the right. And a couple conscious breaths here. Breathing in deeper than what you want to. Right? Breathing out slower than your inhale. Right? And relax, release contraction, tension, stress, worry, fear. And one more breath here. And then with your next breath in, come back to center, and a few moments for yourself. And hands to your kneecaps this time. One hand on each knee, fingertips face your toes. We'll do some appanasanas. As you inhale, we straighten the arms. Your knees move away just a little bit. As you exhale, bend your elbows gently. Bring your knees back to your chest. A few more. As we breathe in, we just straighten the arms. As we breathe out, we slowly bring the knees back. Good. Again, slow breath in. Slower breath out. Resting your hands and feet down to the ground again. Just a breath there. Feel the mat beneath you and allow the body to just rest into the ground. And we'll come into knees into chest, hands to your sides. As you inhale, just extend the feet to the sky, arms overhead, backs of the hands touch the ground above you. And then exhale, knees to chest, arms down to your sides. And then 2 more like that. As you breathe in, flex the feet, press the heels up. And then exhale as you tuck back in. Good. Last one. Nice full inhale. Extra slow exhale. Good. And then this time we'll inhale the hands and the feet towards the sky and find your happy baby pose as you exhale. So bend your knees out towards your armpits. Hands reach for the feet or the ankles or the calves. Several breaths in your happy baby pose. Now you can take, maybe lengthen through the back of the neck a bit by lifting the head, tucking the chin, resting the head down. You can find a little movement if you like, or you can find stillness. And most importantly, we keep breathing, steady rhythm. Last breath like this. And we'll come into a dead bugs pose next. So release the feet, and extend the feet up towards the sky. Again, you can keep your knees bent if you like. Keep your wrists relaxed, keep your shoulders relaxed, keep your feet relaxed, your face relaxed. And 2 more breaths here in this dead bugs pose. And last breath. And then you can bend your knees, bend your elbows, rest your hands and feet down to the ground. And a moment here, feeling the energy within your body. And then one more. Now, I'll leave it up to you. You're welcome to add in anything else you would like before Shavasana. And this could be anything, a different stretch, twist, strength, anything. Or whenever you're ready, you can settle into your Shavasana. You might want a different twist or hip opener, a different inversion, stretch, or nothing. And just settling in for a nice long Shavasana. Take maybe a few more moments and then I'll give Shavasana cues so you know where to go when you're ready. So no rush to get there. I'll go through the cues, but you can fall in whenever you're ready. Shavasana cues are to lay down flat on the ground, arms extended out, legs extended out, body relaxed completely. However, if that's not comfortable for you, make any adjustments that make you more comfortable. It's ideally what we want is comfort and effortlessness here. So adjust any way that would make you more comfortable. And then maybe close your eyes and allow the breath to find its own rhythm. Right? And sometimes taking a cleansing breath to release the breath is nice. So you might inhale through your nose, open the mouth as you exhale, all of it out. And then after that, the breath just falls into its own rhythm. We no longer control our breath in our Shavasana. Right, but we take a moment, maybe scan your body, looking for any areas of contraction. And consciously releasing that contraction. Knowing that as the attention may wander back into thinking, right, the thoughts and this thinking is what causes the body to contract again. So we practice, when we notice ourselves thinking and contracting, we come back into body and we practice relaxing, right? And this takes practice, and we're kind of rewiring our brains to do this. We're coming back and relaxing and relaxing and relaxing and doing it again and again and again and again, so that it becomes more familiar and we have these new neural pathways in our brain and all of that stuff. So anyways, too much talking, coming into resting and just being, right? But knowing that this is a very, very, very powerful part and valuable part of our practice. So not quitting here, not going back into just thinking and waiting the time out, right? But continue to practice, come back into relaxing, come back into just being in these miraculous bodies that we have. Right? So I'll stop talking, we'll move into silence just for a few moments here. attention back to your surroundings. Just keeping your eyes closed, become aware of the room you're in, the ground beneath you. Allow some small movements to come back into your body. Stretching your hands and your feet, your arms, your legs. When you're ready, you can bend your knees and make your way to lie on either side in the fetal position. And whenever you're ready, and as always, take your time, but you can slowly make your way back up to seated. And bring our hands together at our hearts. Maybe closing your eyes again, coming back into you, back to your body. And thanking yourself for your practice. And I thank each of you so much for your practice. Namaste. Guys, I forgot. I almost brought it out, but check this out. I didn't want to alarm everybody, but look, my friend let me borrow his handpan. Oh my gosh. I almost broke it out, but I'm not that good yet. But listen, it's the coolest thing. I was going to break it out during Shavasana.
That's so cool.
It's so cool. I'm obsessed, but I'm not that good yet, but I'm going to learn and then get better, and then it'll sound good in Shavasana. But today I was like, oh, I want to get it, but I'm not that good yet. But yay. Thanks, guys.
Very good. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.